live right now. Hey, boys, come on in here.
Hey.
There he is. Look at you.
What's happening?
Every time you come in here,
What?
Every time it comes
What
in
every
here,
time?
what? Oh, like the room just
it just lights up.
gets that TR
Everybody's
vibe.
happy to see
I got that
you.
glow, that
Yeah.
morning glow.
Look at this guy. You good?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah.
Congrats on everything.
What's what? Not, I don't have anything going on. You're the one that's got it all
Shoot,
going on.
Yeah.
What's happening? George, what are you laughing at? Nothing going on with me.
Can't pick up the press without reading.
Oh, stop
I agree.
it. What? What?
Time's doing her
he's
job.
probably congratulating
And it's
you
all
on your
good.
new parking spot.
I haven't picked my parking spot yet.
Yeah.
You have a new parking spot.
Well, no. Part of
part
my
of the
new
deal.
contract was
I think I just parked in it, potentially.
I get to pick any spot and I get to make sure people don't park in it all day.
Okay.
And so it's my own spot. But that's yeah.
Did you already pick it?
No, not yet. Enough
Okay.
about me. I don't want to talk about me.
I like talking about you.
We don't get to hang out.
An interesting life.
Who, me?
Yeah, of course.
What part of my life is interesting to you?
Well, I mean, you get to talk about your life on the radio, and then you get to do stand up, and you just get to experiment in a lot of different outlets.
You get to write songs about your life.
It's true.
And all the changes.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's funny though too. Eddie made a good point one day. He was like, "Oh wow, it's like obviously it's a positive song, but it's like, what if someone did like how your life changes and
For
it's
the
like,
worse?
One day I woke up and
We should write that.
Arthritis just comes one day.
Can that be a Raging Idiot song eventually? Okay.
Yes.
I watch your Insta stories. Got the life now. Like you are the so there's this realm of these tiers in country music, and you tend to work your way up them. But you're the next entertainer of the year.
Wow.
Because you're
That's a
up there now. But
That's a bold statement.
in the next 3 years, that'll be you.
Man, we'll see.
You don't have to respond to that.
I'm
but-
not going to. I don't know how to respond to that.
But you don't. Nothing you touch is sour anymore. It's
Man.
all hits, man.
I appreciate
Look at
that.
This guy got his beard.
I know, it's getting thick. This is called a dad beard.
How's that going? Amy wanted to ask you about that. Like
Yeah.
the
What you
family
got?
stuff.
Adjusting to like, how's it been? Because the last time we saw you, I don't know, it seemed like all still sort of new and just as
Yeah.
it progresses, like how y'all are. I love that y'all all stick together and that your wife can go with you and your kids.
Yeah.
Like that's a huge. Not everybody can like take their kids out with them everywhere they go, and I love that y'all do that as much
for
as
sure.
you can.
Well, we made it a point to do that too. I knew that this year was going to be a little bit lighter touring because this would be the first full year of me being a dad of two, and so we wanted to make sure that we had the right runs for them to go on, and so we've been bringing them out on all these Kenny Chesney shows, and it's been really cool, man. We kind of started potentially putting them to bed before the show because if they stay up till after the show, then Willa goes crazy until like midnight. It will not go to sleep. But they love staying inside stage, and it's just a constant trying to get Willa Gray not to run out on the stage and grab my leg.
Aw,
So
that's
Yeah,
so
you were
pretty
telling
cool.
me that she likes to be out. Like she likes the stage.
loves it. Like if she gets a hold of my microphone and somebody has to get it back from her, it's bad. She really enjoys being in the spotlight, I think. So
How does she do as a big sister?
she does great. It took her a minute to adjust because it was only her for 4 months, and then Ada was born, and so she didn't really have much time to be, an only child. And so when Ada got in the picture, it took her about a month to adjust to it. But now, man, she treats Ada amazing. When Ada falls, she picks her up. Like she's really grown into that big sister role pretty hard. So
Does she? Because Amy has 2 kids, and they're not she adopted them, but they're
Yeah.
not biologically brother and sister. But they've had to learn.
yeah, how is that dynamic? Is it
Yeah, they're
amazing?
getting so they're kind of getting that brotherly sisterly stuff because she's 11, he's 7, so
Okay.
now they're finally starting to pick on each other and be like, stop it.
Yeah.
They were like a team when they first got here because that's all they
Sure.
knew. But then now I'm noticing with her as the older sister, she's very nurturing and caring,
Right.
and wants to teach him things and show him things. So I love seeing them kind of take on their roles.
That's
I love
awesome.
seing them pick at each other, but then I also love them seeing
Well,
them
yeah,
love
sure.
each other.
And the dynamic's good. Like everything's cool. And
Yeah. So far, it was a roller coaster in the beginning, some
Yeah.
definite lows and some highs, but we're kind of evening out.
That's awesome.
Which feels really good.
I'm so happy for y'all. That's great.
Thanks.
And so you're seeing that sister dynamic too.
Oh, yeah.
Where she's starting to feel like she's the big sister.
Yeah, she definitely is. Like, I was saying earlier, like whenever we're about to put Ada to sleep or something, Willa really wants to be in there just to make. She's like, all right, shh, everybody, be quiet. Ada's going to sleep. I'm like, you're the one talking. But no, it's pretty awesome, man. They both have such unique personalities, and anytime we're in the car, it's just complete chaos in the best way in the car, at home, on the road, and but I wouldn't have it any other way. So.
And you wouldn't change it for the world.
I wouldn't
The
change
world.
it for the world.
Wouldn't change it for the world. Yeah. Hey, so tell me, put your headphones on for 1 second. So
Okay.
I'm playing this song here. So you sit in a room and you wrote this with Ashley Gorley, Jesse Frazier, and your dad,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So was this when you wrote this song? Was it, hey, we're gonna actually write the biography of my life?
No, we literally. I thought the record was done, honestly. But usually when I think the record is done, I'll do one more like writing trip, just to kind of see if anything falls out naturally. And so we went out to our farm and we were all just sitting there. And I think I was honestly just venting about how nuts our life was, because Lauren at this point was still kind of, going back and forth to Uganda, and I was going over to meet her for a couple of days and then coming back and playing shows, then going back to meet her. And it was just a really chaotic time to be able to tour and put a record out and also be adopting a child. That's a lot to take on at that time. So I felt like I was just kind of venting in the room as to what was happening. And so I can't remember if it was Ashley or Jesse, but they were just like, dang, man, life changes so quickly. And so that's kind of where the idea stemmed from. And so once we started writing and had that beat and that piano riff, we just started to, I was like, let's just write a biography. And so we kind of just took basically pages out of a journal from the time I was 19 until now, and then wrote how drastically things can change in your life when you least expect it. And for me, that was being in college thinking I was not going to be a singer, and then became a singer. And then, people kind of thinking I was crazy for getting married at 22 years old, but got married. And then my wife became this like super amazing role model for a bunch of women. And then that happened, and now she kind of has her own fan base. And then we adopted a child and had a baby, and it was just like a lot going on at one time. And so I just wanted to write a song about it, not thinking it would ever make the record, much less be a single. And then it made the record and was a single, and the name of the tour, the name of the album, and
It's the whole thing.
the whole
Wow.
thing. Yeah.
What's funny about you is that whenever I'll read a post from E or something and they have you in, they're like the Akins family.
Yeah.
But most people think Rhett's your last name.
Right. Yeah.
And I've learned that your kind of your first and middle name is Thomas Rhett.
Right.
But is that a trouble? Fans have trouble with that?
They do, and people get our names wrong a ton. Like, people think my last name is Rhett. A lot of our fans think Lauren's name is Laura. People think Willa's name is Willow. They think Ada's name is Ava. Like, it's hilarious how they get names kind of swapped around, and so I just kind of roll with it. I'm like, whatever.
Laura Rhett.
Laura Rhett. She loves that.
So Thomas Rhett Akins
Junior. Yeah.
Jr.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we played Life Changes. Is this the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Next single. This has always been one of my favorite songs on the record, and this is like, remember when we did the thing in my truck that I got back from my childhood? This is what the very first verse talks about, this vehicle. So I'm glad you got to ride around in that.
So
A lot of memories in that bad boy.
Thomas Rhett. I don't know what to call him now.
TR.
Yeah. Do people call you Thomas though, right? People that know you, what do they call you?
TR.
Okay.
No one really calls me Thomas, so if you want to take that role, you can.
I don't though,
Okay.
and I call you TR off the air, but I kind of feel goobery calling you that
Why?
on the because it sounds so insidery.
You are inside.
No. I know we talking stuff off the air, but it feels I don't want to be cool guy. I'm not Johnny.
You
cool
are
guy.
though. I give you that.
Okay, so you were riding around.
We're in
his
his truck. Okay, yeah. He just got
Just
this
keep
truck
going
back.
on
It was his
that.
first truck, right? First truck
ever. Yeah.
So we're riding around in this truck, and so you still have that truck?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever drive it around?
I don't drive it enough. It actually died. That's how little I've driven it in the last 2 months.
Well, this song, the first verse of 16, is about that mentions this truck.
Mm-hmm.
When's this song coming out? When are you doing that? A few weeks? Month or so?
Beginning of October. Yeah.
I remember the big question about this song, just going from, since we're being so insidery and cool.
Yeah.
You were like, the chorus changes the words. Are we able
Yeah,
to
right.
are we able to put this out as a single because the chorus changes?
I know.
Because it goes 16, 17.
16, 18, 21,
18, yeah,
and
well,
then
yeah.
current day. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those. I love story songs. I love some of my favorite songs from the past are how songs can progress over a period of time and then become a real story about just things that you've experienced. And that's definitely what this song is about, going from 16 wanting to be 18, being 18 wanting to be 21, and then you're however old wanting to be kind of 16 again and being young again, and so that's kind of the basis of the song.
I'll see your Instagram sometimes, and you're playing golf with Niall Horan from One Direction.
Yeah,
Nice guy?
super nice,
Normal guy? Because you're
Very
a normal
normal.
dude.
very normal. Yeah, I was because Charles Kelly from Lady A texted me and said, "Do you want to play golf with me and Niall today?" And I'd hung out with Niall a little bit last year. I can't remember where we were, but we became good friends. I think it was at Stagecoach where I met him in L.A. and became friends, exchanged numbers, and kind of kept in touch, and then really got to know each other pretty well when he played a show in Nashville this week. Played golf, and came to the gym with me, and we all went to his show. He's a good dude.
Can he go to the gym without people going, that's not Horan?
Yeah, the gym was pretty empty, luckily. But I mean, he's a he's a global superstar. It's pretty wild.
So he's cool. I saw you in a picture with Charlie Puth.
Yeah.
And so you guys write together? Is that what that's about?
Yeah, we wrote when I was in LA. I did like 3 or 4 days writing. Wrote with Ryan Tedder that week from One Republic, and got to write with Charlie Puth. And I like to do that a couple times a year just to keep myself fresh and keep current, and try to make new friends and see if anything comes out of something while I'm out there. And me and Charlie wrote a few songs together, and we'll see if any of them make this next album.
Who is the coolest friend you have that we don't know about?
Coolest friend I have?
Yeah, that we'd be like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, like, are you friends with Cardi B?
Like Tom's trying Cardi B
I'm
hanging
not
out.
friend. I need to meet Cardi B.
Yeah.
Me and Bruno are best friends, but he just doesn't know that currently.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny to
One
hear
day.
that. Yeah, you have like a dream friend.
Yeah, exactly. Like it,
Your
Because,
dream
like-
friends, Bruno Mars.
yeah.
Well, yeah, because everyone kind of has that, and you think like, okay, well, TR is golfing
Thomas.
with Niall Horn or whatever, and you're like, okay, he's probably reached, like, he knows everybody, but like, you have a dream friend, Bruno.
I do. I got to meet Bruno once. He played a show in Memphis, and my wife and a couple friends went out to meet him. And we were standing in his tour manager's dressing room, and we were kind of told that we were going to get to meet him, but his tour manager was like, you just kind of never know. Like, if he's like doing warm-ups or he just is not in the vibe to meet anybody, he may not come over here. And I was like, that's cool, man. We're here. Like, I mean, I've seen the show 3 times in a year. I mean, it's like one of the coolest shows that I've ever seen. And so he said, all right, he'll be here in 5. I mean, it felt like the president was rolling into this room in a way. And so he came in and was like, what's up, man? He said, congratulations on that #1 record. Because my album had just came out, and I about fell to the floor when he said that. I was like, how do you know that, first of all? Your guy probably told you as he was walking over here my whole history, so
Yeah,
you
he's
had
got good
something to
people.
say.
Yeah.
But he walked in holding a bottle of tequila and set it down, and we took a picture. Not on my phone. He wouldn't let us take it on our phone. They got a photographer to do it, and then he sent it to me like 6 days later, which was a long wait to get that photo. So.
But does that show you, though, because artists will do that too, where they go, no, we're going to do it with our own camera, and we'll send you the meet and greet pictures. It's kind of annoying to wait that long, right?
It is very annoying.
Because
to
you
wait that
want it,
long.
you want it now. You want to show people and text it to people.
I know. And we honestly, we started doing the same thing last year, not because I don't want people to share it immediately, but a lot of the time people will walk through meet and greet with a phone that just went dead, or like they can't figure out how to pull the camera up or something like that.
It's
and
not
so
efficient, like,
it's not efficient. And so
time,
we
yeah.
started doing it with our photographer's camera. We email it out immediately. So
Immediately. I like that. I think in your heart, you're kind of a songwriter first.
I think I'll always be a songwriter first. Yeah. Because that's what I started out doing. I didn't think I was going to be a singer. Because my dad was a songwriter, and he had been an artist in the 90s, and I watched him be at the peak and then fall, and then be at the peak and then fall, and then became a writer, and got to stay at home and do the thing, and I thought that's always what I would do. And so once I started getting a couple cuts in Nashville and some other artists' records, I was like, what would it feel like for me to go do that and hear my songs on the radio that I wrote? And so I think that was the driving force for me to want to do it. And now that I'm doing it, I don't really see myself doing anything other than this. So
Let me ask you this, 'cause I don't think you'll have an answer, but I need to ask it. What's up with a new project?
yeah, I've written more songs than I know what to do with. And this kind of happens every record. And it's like every time I put a record out, I'll talk to George or my manager, Virginia, and be like, I don't have anything else to say. Like, how are we going to make a whole nother record? And then as you start to get back into writing, it's amazing how much you haven't talked about or things that you have talked about, but not in this way. And so written a ton of songs for this project. We're going to go in and record, I think, 5 or 6 in September, and then go try to finish the entire record in December and January, and hopefully have a brand new single from a brand new record out early next year.
So when you go in to cut new music, it's a big deal now when you go in. Do you have people lock down all your files? Like, these cannot get out, or only one person has access to them? How are you protecting that?
Kind of. I mean, I have 4 producers, and so it's kind of like us and the label and management are the only ones that have kind of like access to these songs. And but I am guilty of just kind of like when I get a song that I wrote that I think is cool, I'll send it to like 5 or 6 of my best buddies just to like get a vibe. Like, do you like this? This is cool. And if they respond yes, then it usually means that a lot of other people might like it too. So,
but does anyone ever say no? You ever send it out? You liked it?
Absolutely.
They do say no?
Absolutely, and those are that's why I keep those friends close. Because if you're surrounded by yes people, it's not good for your career, And so I love when people are like, you know what, that's cool, but I think these other 2 would kick that one off on my list. And so I need those I love opinions to a fault. I think like when I go in to record a record, I will get 40 different opinions and then be completely clueless when I get in there.
That's
But
why this whole studio is no people for me. All no people.
Yeah.
All of you.
Mm-hmm.
No.
it's good to have no people, man.
But they're never yes. They're all
Oh,
no.
well, you need a
all
yes
no's all
occasionally.
the time. That's right. Thomas Rhett's here. Anything else you'd like to say? What do you wish people asked you more in interviews? Like, what do you wish people would say? Hey, Thomas, Rhett, Tur.
TR.
Yeah,
Tur.
Sure.
What do you wish people would ask about? Be more inquisitive about you?
Man, that's a hard question. Maybe just more, like you just talked about, more detailed about the process of making an album or the process of writing a song. I feel like most of the time what we get asked about is our kids. Like that's really all we ever talk
dang,
about.
that was my question.
No, but
Yeah.
to be fair, that's what E
But I
puts
relate.
out there. That's what people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, I guess being such an artist and a songwriter first and foremost, I love getting into the depth of like the recording process or how a song was written. But a lot of people don't fully care about that.
That's
so.
what the Bobbycast is.
Invite me,
That's what it's
dude.
about. I've done it.
What
I'm
about
wide
like
open.
what you ate for breakfast?
This morning,
Yeah.
man, I'm on this Ezekiel bread kick. Y'all like Ezekiel bread?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Ezekiel bread.
Ezekiel bread and sweet potato pecan butter.
Whoa. Might need to
Should
check
give it
that
a
out.
shot. That's what I had this morning. It was good.
Hey, what's it like doing those Kenny shows? Because
It's wild, man. We only have 3 left. It kind of went by quick. We did 17. We're going to do 17 total shows, and they're either at NFL stadiums or MLB stadiums.
I mean, that's got to
So-
be a goals type thing, right? Because you're already headlining.
Yeah.
And you're doing your own big shows, but then you go out to a Kenny show where it's basically the whole town shuts down.
It really is, man. I mean, you go to an arena and you feel really good about yourself that you sold 10,000 tickets, and then you notice that Kenny's doing 6 arenas at the same place that you're playing, and so.
Did you see him when he hurt his leg?
Yeah, I literally, Old Dominion was singing Save It for a Rainy Day with him. And then right before I went out to sing When the Sun Goes Down, I saw him start to kind of limp a little bit. And I was like, what just happened? And he walked out there, dude, and he had to grab my shoulder to like get down to the thrust. And so that was pretty scary.
Those Old Dominion guys are really doing it too, huh?
They are, man.
Look at those
Killing
guys. Killing
it.
They're such good songwriters.
Yeah, they're the best.
And that shows you that the song wins.
Song always wins.
If there's one thing that Old Dominion shows you, because I know those guys, and listen, they don't have a flashy front man.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have a tour, you know.
Sure.
Right.
Sir. Shane McAnally calls me Toctor.
Sure.
TR, yeah.
So, yeah, there it is. But they don't have, but they're so good that you start to go, oh, they are superstars. All
They
of
are.
them.
They really are, man. I've had the privilege to write with them a few times on the road, and it's really cool, man. And they're such a great hang too. And the songs. I think it's the nostalgia of those songs. I think that's what makes me love them so much.
Their song Hotel Key right now,
Love it.
it's my jam.
It's amazing.
I will sit in my car if I'm somewhere and I turn it up, even if I'm already there, and I listen to the entire song.
Yeah.
And then I get out. And the next time I get in my car, my speakers are so loud, and I'm like, what was I listening to?
Right.
And I was like, oh yeah, Hotel Key.
Their whole album is like that. And it's rare that someone puts out a whole album where I'm like, oh, it's all a jam. But Lights in the
agree.
City, I'm just going from
That's my
brain.
favorite one.
That's my favorite
That's
one.
my favorite
too.
one on the album.
Yep.
And I don't think I realized that Little Big Town was featuring on that. Does it say it on the record that they're
It
featuring?
does.
Okay.
Yeah. But they do the background vote.
Right, yeah.
The background vocals. So it's not like they come in for a, but yes, they do. Well, look at that. We talked about a lot here today.
We did.
Anything else we want to mention? Thomas Rhett is here. By the way, the CMA Music Fest. You can check him out there on ABC. He's out doing some shows with Kenny. You're still out doing the Life Changes?
Yeah, we start back up in September. So
I listened to your record a bit all the way through a few times.
nice. Thank you.
Well, no, I say that because you put me on spot once. You go, hey, you know that song? You don't know if you remember this conversation.
Oh, I do. I texted you about it.
Yeah, you go, hey, you know my song Life Changes? And I was like, oh my God, what if I didn't?
Well, that would be. I mean,
I would
a
have
lot
had
of people don't listen to full albums.
Well, that's my point. I would have said, no, I
Right.
don't. Hold on. Give me 3 minutes.
3 minutes later, I get a text back. Yeah, I know that song.
Yeah, of course, my favorite song. My favorite song.
Yeah. In fact, I was just listening to it.
That's hilarious.
And you were like, I guess you were apprehensive about putting a song out that was so biographical.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, it's free your story to people.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the hook wins.
Yeah.
But then it's your story, and then people know about you from hearing a good song.
Yeah.
I like to think that I picked that single.
You definitely did.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, stop.
I
Thanks,
heard it here.
Bobby.
Thomas Rhett, I'm going to play 16.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll play the whole thing here. Here is Thomas Rhett. Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, you too, buddy.